Dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel MNR Physics. This is 23rd session of third semester BSc Physics course. In this session, we are going to understand the concept of electrostatic pressure, and also we are deriving an expression for electrostatic pressure acting on the surface of a charged conductor. According to Michael Faraday, the surface of any charged conductor experiences an outward mechanical force. This mechanical force experienced by the surface of a conductor per unit area is called as electrostatic pressure. So we can define the electrostatic pressure as the outward mechanical force per unit area acting on the surface of a charged conductor. Now, with this definition of electrostatic pressure, let us derive an expression for it. Expression for electrostatic pressure. Now, to derive the expression, first let us consider a charged conductor. Say any arbitrary shape. Now, consider a point P. Now, before considering the point, let us assign the charge for it. Let Q be the charge given to this conductor. We know that whenever a charge is given to the conductor, the charges will reside on the outer surface, so that the electric field inside the surface is zero. Let sigma be the surface charge density. Now consider a point P which lies just on the surface of the conductor. Now let ds be the small element of area enclosed by this surface. Then the electric field at P due to the charged conductor is given by E is equal to sigma divided by epsilon naught. Call this as equation 1. Here sigma already we defined, it is the surface charge density, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. This electric field can be treated as the resultant of two components. The first component, let us take this as E1. This electric field E1 is due to charge enclosed by a small area ds just in the vicinity of point P. That is, the first electric field is due to the charge enclosed by the small elemental area. And the second component E2, this is due to the charge residing on the rest surface of the conductor. Therefore, we can write resultant electric field E is equal to the sum of the two fields E1 plus E2. Call this as equation 2. Let us mark both the electric fields. E1 due to the charge on the small elemental area ds, and E2 is the field due to remaining part of the surface, the charge residing on the remaining part of the surface. Now let us consider another point, say Q, which just lies inside the surface. We know that for any point which is lying just inside the surface, electric field E is equal to 0. The resultant field E is equal to 0. Again, this resultant electric field E can be treated as resultant of two components. The first component E1, which is negative. Let us draw the diagram. For a point just outside, we have two components, E1 and E2. For a point Q, again we have two components. The first component E1, it is due to the charge enclosed by the small area ds, which is directed inwards. And the second component E2, it is due to the charge on the rest surface. This field E2 is directed inwards. So the resultant field E is equal to minus E1 plus E2. This is equal to 0. This implies E1 is equal to E2. Call this as equation 3. Now, from equations 2 and 3, we can write E1 is equal to E2. This is equal to E by 2. But we know that E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Therefore, this we can write it as sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. Call this as equation 4. Now, the charge enclosed by the surface is given by Q is equal to sigma into ds. Enclosed by the surface of surface area ds is equal to Q is equal to sigma into ds. Therefore, the total force acting on this surface due to the charge enclosed by the rest of the surface is given by, we know the definition of electric field. Electric field is equal to force per unit charge. Therefore, the force acting on the surface ds due to the charge enclosed by the rest surface is given by Q into E2. E2 because E2 is the electric field due to the charge enclosed by the rest of the surface. This is equal to Q, substitute sigma into ds. E2 is equal to, use equation 4, sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. Therefore, F divided by ds is equal to sigma square divided by 2 epsilon naught. This is force per unit area. The mechanical force acting on the surface per unit area is called as electrostatic pressure. Therefore, the electrostatic pressure P is equal to F divided by ds. This is equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. This expression can also be written as, replacing sigma by using equation, from equation 1, sigma is equal to epsilon naught times E. Therefore, the mechanical force per unit area or the electrostatic pressure can also be written as half epsilon naught E square. We have both the equations. One is sigma square by 2 epsilon naught or half epsilon naught E square. If the conductor is placed in a medium, if the conductor is placed in a medium of dielectric constant or relative permittivity epsilon r, then the electrostatic pressure is given by half epsilon naught epsilon r into E square. Thus, we can conclude that the surface of any charged conductor is always under stress. A charged conductor, that is, the surface of a charged conductor is always under stress.